Hey guys, welcome back. We have a new week of energy to get into. This week, I want to let you know right up front that how things feel on Monday, maybe when you're getting out of bed on Monday, are not going to be how they feel on Tuesday. Monday, we do hit a bit of a rough patch. This is kind of a rocky energy, primed for conflict, emotionally like vulnerable and triggered and touchy. People could just be sort of in a bad mood, a little bit aggressive, a little bit hostile. We got a cardinal T-square that is playing out with the moon in Chiron together in Aries, opposite the black moon in Libra, squaring Mars in Cancer. This is black moon energy too on Monday, so people could just be operating out of a bit of their shadow side. However, don't get discouraged, don't be dismayed, do not worry, because as we move into the energy of Tuesday, we've got a couple things changing. Number one, Jupiter stations direct in the sky after having been retrograding through the sign of Gemini for a while now. It's also happening in a pretty perfect trine to Mercury, who rules the sign where Jupiter is stationing. This is indicating some good news, some positive outcomes, like successful results. I don't know, but things should be definitely looking up as we hit the energy of Tuesday. Venus also enters the sign of Aries on Tuesday. This is the desire for something new, a fresh start, moving forward. There should be a future focused emphasis on growth, expansion, and like how we are proceeding with things in a positive direction as we move through the energy of Tuesday. So we have a lot to talk about. Obviously, it's kind of a busy start to our week, for worse on Monday maybe, but also for better definitely on Tuesday. So we've got a lot to talk about. Let's get into it. Let's put all this together, see where we're at and how things are looking like for us as we get our week started. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Today is Monday, February 3rd, 2025. My name is Aubrey. This is your astrological outlook of the day, where we are narrating the shift of the ages. And if you guys stick with me until the end of this report, I have done a collective tarot reading for us today as well. I like to tap the energy for more than one modality whenever I'm doing these energy overviews, just to get an alternative energetic perspective on what's going on out there. So there could be some messages in there for you. We will do that at the end. We are starting at the top with the astrology. And as I mentioned in my intro, as we get the week going on Monday, the mood may just not be the best. However, do not fear. By the time that we get to Tuesday, I'm telling you, chances are something will have uplifted your spirits somehow. Now, Monday, let's start with Monday and then we'll talk about Tuesday. Tuesday really is the big day this week. That is the day that we have Jupiter stationing, which is going to amplify this Jupiterian energy. All week this week is likely to be kind of like a lucky or fortunate week. Things may just be working in our favor, and we do have the wind in our sails generally at this point of time. And the informational component going along with this kind of like expansive positive energy is probably going to be significant somehow. Jupiter is stationing in the sign of Gemini. Jupiter doesn't love being in the sign of Gemini. Jupiter is in detriment in the sign of Gemini, but Jupiter is stationing in nearly an exact trine to Mercury, who rules the sign of Gemini. And this is just, honestly, it could be a very, very busy time. Like, there could be a lot of things going on at once, but there could also be a lot of opportunities that are going on, like some big news, big information, broadened perspective, and things should generally be working out favorably in terms of, I don't know, maybe something also that's been like on a back burner or on hold for a while, or like we haven't been able to proceed for one reason or another, like finally begins to move forward and in a way that is successful or abundant or just like in the right way somehow right now. Divine timing is likely to be sort of all over the things that are playing out right now as we move through this week as well. But anyways, enough about Tuesday and what's coming at us this week. Oh, and we also have Venus entering the sign of Aries on Tuesday alongside Jupiter's station. So that is also kind of like uplifting things and inspiring or motivating like the desire to move forward. So anyways, we will get there. That's what's coming at us. That's probably going to be like one of the primary vibes that we've got going on out there this week. But as I said, it's probably not feeling like that as we start the week on Monday. We do have just this energy again that is is perhaps like pressing on some of our wounds somehow, bringing up some like old issues that maybe we've been struggling to clear or release ourselves from. We could also be like dealing with kind of just the sentiment of like being over it, not wanting to participate, not wanting to include ourselves, not wanting to like be a part of the conversation, or just like being done with maybe an investment or a commitment or a relationship or a situation. I don't know, but it's looking like, with the way that this energy is lining up and coming in, I mean, there's a couple different things that we've got going on. Number one, as I've mentioned, we have this cardinal T-square that is playing out because of the moon's placement. It's being activated on Monday as we are getting this week started. The moon's transiting through the sign of Aries, ruled by Mars. Now, first and foremost, with Mars in the sign of Cancer right now, every time that the moon goes into Aries or Scorpio, it's forming a mutual reception with Mars, which means the lunar and the Martian energies are blended, and this can just make us more emotionally sensitive, bring up feelings of like irritability, internalized angst and frustration. People can just be a little bit more aggressive, maybe a little bit more hostile, and it is, I feel like, just kind of a conflict-oriented energy. People could potentially be lashing out. And another thing about this energy, it's like things that have been pent up for perhaps a period of time could be finding their way to the surface here as well. And an outcome, actually, I think the way that this setup is playing out, of some of these conflicts that do go on, or maybe some of these eruptions, or just people being quite like harsh in terms of verbalizing their like thoughts and feelings and stuff like that. This is going to most likely lead to some endings, with Venus at 29 degrees of Pisces on Monday as well, conjunct the North Node and conjunct Neptune. Now, in my last video, I talked so much about that particular conjunction. Very rare alignment, actually. The last time that we had anything close to this was back in the 1800s, and like I said, I talked about that in my last video. But that is an energy that actually is on the higher levels, helping to heal and refine like our heart-centered energy, what we like, what we value, what we're attracted to, what we find value in, our preferences, our desires. Like, it's trying to bring us some type of fated upgrade as we ourselves also go through sort of like an energetic recalibration as we move forward into this new Aquarian energy that is coming in really strong right now and being rooted to the planet over the course of this next 20 years while Pluto transits the sign of Aquarius. We are all, I think, in a lot of ways getting a kind of like subconscious reprogramming and energetic upgrade to make us more suitable for the age of Aquarius, the greater cycle, the age of Aquarius energy that we are moving towards, and really laying the foundation for right now as well. I talked a bit about that in my new moon video. Well, I talk about it all the time, but I talked about it kind of significantly in my new moon in Aquarius video that came out a couple videos ago, if you missed that one. But anyways, this energy, okay, the just more conflict-oriented nature. Like, we're talking about the black moon in the sign of Libra being activated right now. That has to do with like inadequacy complexes, insecurities, feelings of and fears of rejection, like where we are willing to sacrifice elements of like our authentic self in order to receive some type of acceptance or external validation. Also, when the black moon in Libra is activated, we can sometimes turn to external things to try to fill some type of internal wound, most likely to our heart energy. Like, for example, spending excessive money on like material things, or like binge eating, or, you know, using people, essentially just trying to fill something that we feel maybe is empty or lacking within us, essentially like trying to self-medicate when this particular energy is activated. And with Chiron and the moon coming together in the sign of Aries, it's likely also to be bringing up like where we have personally been wounded by other people through being rejected. With Mars in the sign of Cancer, this could also be bringing into it like the home, the family, the mother, the family dynamic, our sense of self somehow tied into all of this and maybe just like caught up in the past. With Venus and the North Node and Neptune there though, in the sign of Pisces, Venus at the very last degree of the sign of Pisces, I do think that whatever perhaps relationship wounds are being triggered in this energy with the black moon in Libra being activated, because remember, Libra is ruled by Venus. So really the black moon right now and the fears, worries, insecurities, doubts, shadow side issues, unhealed subconscious wounds that the black moon energy represents, it has a lot to do with what is going on with Venus as she's, you know, making her transits and her aspects in the sky right now, because that is the Venusian energy, the Libran energy is what is being worked on right now in terms of the black moon as it transits through the sign of Libra. So when these black moon issues are being triggered and the black moon is activated, the black moon energy is activated whenever the moon transits the sign where the black moon is located or the sign opposing the black moon. So with the black moon being the sign of Libra, that means that when the moon is in Libra and when the moon is in Aries, that's when we're more likely to feel this black moon energy being triggered, especially if you have a lot of Libra energy, have a lot of Aries energy, have your black moon in the sign of Libra, or just like stelliums around the degree where the black moon is at any given point in time. So you guys are probably feeling this black moon and Libra energy the most during its activations, but we've got another one of those activations going on as the moon conjuncts Chiron and opposes the black moon. And this black moon Chiron dynamic, we've been talking about it for the past several weeks. Like, it has been playing a big role in, I think, a lot of the things that we've been seeing transpire and a lot of the experiences going on right now, a lot of the endings and beginnings and the big changes that are underway. This is indicating having come to the end of some type of karmic cycle that perhaps has been stealing our power or controlling us through exactly what we've been willing to surrender our power to, because maybe of that feeling of lack or feeling of void or unhealed like heart energy within us. And this energy as it's coming through right now, I do think that things are playing out in such a way either to finally help us release and let go and transcend and like emerge out of perhaps some of these karmic, because we're talking about Venus and the North Node together. The North Node, this is the destiny point. That means that Venus is also opposite the South Node, which is karmic endings and our karma. There's some, and Venus at 29 degrees of the sign of Pisces on Monday, while the moon is with Chiron, which also indicates karmic cycles. There's just like a few different like hits in the energy of Monday that are talking about like maybe once again having to deal with or interface some of the issues and some of the insecurities, or again some of the shadow side triggers or whatever that have resulted from maybe some of these unhealed wounds or unhealed traumas or karmic cycles that we've been maybe just going round and round with, or that have just been implicating or impacting our lives somehow. However, for whatever reason, things playing out now that are bringing that to an end, and not only bringing it to the end, but with Venus and Neptune in the North Node in the sign of Pisces, again, throwback to my last video, this is like being at a point of being ready to release it, being ready to let it go. Like, for whatever reason, there is an embrace of the ending of something, and also, you know, it's happening in this very divinely aligned way that is preparing us, or that is simultaneously like ushering us into something completely new. And really that is kind of like the transition of things between the energy of Monday and the energy of Tuesday, because again, like, where is this whole, you know, multi-transit dynamic is maybe putting us in a place of just feeling done with everything. And the energy of Monday, by the time we get to Tuesday, it's like there's this new motivation or this new inspiration to seize the day, to move on, like to live to fight another day, you know what I mean? To just like this embrace of the new and embrace of the future. Like, things aren't looking quite as dim as they were the day before. We're ready to move on. Like, we've got a new lease on life, sort of. This Jupiter station in the trine to Mercury, there is something that is going to go on that uplifts us, that elevates our spirits somehow, that brings us back to life, that feels like a breath of fresh air, that makes us feel like the wind again is like in our sails somehow, that opens our mind. And you know, with the Venus Aries transit happening simultaneously that is like re-inspiring us. It's like opening our heart to the future. We have the courage, we have the motivation, like we want to push ahead, we want to proceed, we want to move forward. Venus in Aries has a desire for the new, for the exciting, for the adventures. This is a risk-taking energy, and things are likely to pay off quite well. I mean, Jupiter is classically known as the great benefic. When we've got a planet stationing in the sky, this is amplifying the energy of that planet. So there's a powerful Jupiterian influence that is going on. Now, the red flags associated with Jupiterian energy, be careful, especially in the trine to Mercury, that you're like not overlooking the fine print, overlooking the details. And also with the like the North Node Neptune situation right now, the South Node's in the sign of Virgo, there could be kind of a lack of groundedness. There could be kind of a lack of I don't know, like schedule or detail, or just like things being done in like the proper order. Organization, I guess, could be lacking. So if you find yourself like in the midst of like a deal or a contract or an opportunity, or you know, trying to make a sale or something like that, this is very, very good energy for it. It's probably going to be successful, abundance, you know, good luck, good fortune, all that stuff, yes, but just be aware that there can be a tendency to overlook the fine print, overlook the details, and you can like miss something important just by being too like grandiose about things, or like too, I don't know, it can also give sort of like a big head and a big mouth. So just something to be aware of as you proceed through your first couple of days this week. Okay, so on Monday, you know, people could be feeling very triggered, not wanting to participate in things, not wanting to be present. Again, like the nature of that cardinal T-square with Chiron and the moon and Mars in Cancer and the black moon in the sign of Libra, and then Venus also at 29 Pisces, like this is escapism energy. This is like, you know what, like I'm just not doing it today, not doing it, not dealing with it, not listening to it, you know, like this is like, instead of maybe wanting to attack, this is just like totally avoiding. Okay, hurt feelings though, triggered emotions, and just feeling kind of irritable, hostile, aggressive. You could also feel sort of like confined or held back or repressed somehow in your ability to express your emotions, which could lead to these emotional outbursts, which is also indicated in this energy, repressed feelings coming out, as I was saying earlier. Just a very emotionally sensitive, the moon and Mars in mutual reception as well. So don't pick on people, and don't be the victim also. With the Chiron energy being activated like that, that brings up like the bullies will be bullying, the victims will be suffering. Those particular archetypes tend to be very highlighted when we've got an energetic dynamic going on like this, but we don't have to just kind of like fall into or assume one of those roles. This can also bring up the spiritual warrior archetype and the master of our reality archetype. So we can choose to kind of play into that end of the spectrum of the way that this energy can just like manifest itself through the expression of us as we move through it as well. But there's likely to be, again, like as we move through the week, some type of relationship dynamic or interpersonal dynamic or financial situation that is on the verge of going through some type of shift, fated release, desire to let go, cleansing, something being washed out, maybe an investment, maybe a commitment, maybe a partnership, maybe a financial dealings or situation, maybe a relationship, karmic relationship or something perhaps that has run its course as well. But this is about endings, this is about beginnings, it has to do with other people, it has to do with value, it has to do with desire, and the higher ideal of like what we wish to see our lives look like moving forward into really this new era of our lives over the next 20 years as Pluto transits Aquarius, and you know, just whatever plans perhaps we have for ourselves at this point in time as well. So whatever it is that is provoking us perhaps, or evoking these kind of more disturbed feelings within us in the energy of Monday, it's probably going to lead to some desire to just be done, escape, avoid, abandonment, evasion, neglect, detachment as well. This is a very detached, we're like Venus in the sign of Pisces with Neptune, like we're not holding on to things. Like this is an energy that is, again, like okay with letting things go, and therefore it's very detached to like other people and to relationships, to material possessions, to like financial things, to like image and reputation and stuff like that as well. This Venus North Node Pisces energy, it's just like doesn't really care about holding on to it. Another thing I was saying in that last video I did is that like it seems as though people kind of are at a point where they are more likely to embrace like the spiritual than the material. Like this is an energy that is indicating releasing perhaps like things that we've been holding on to materially, financially, and that we've just been like putting a lot of our resources into. Virgo being the sign of the harvest, like what are we putting into things? It seems like we're like letting, or people kind of are just letting go or being willing to sacrifice a material component in order to receive some type of like spiritual union, or like just like a feeling a closer connection to the divine, or some type of higher spiritual pursuit, or like a higher purpose. That to me is a lot of what the changes are at this period of time have to do with as well. In my last video or not my last video, but the new moon in Aquarius video, I was talking about how this Aquarius cycle actually is functioning in a lot of ways as a spiritual awakening, and a lot of people are going to be abandoning things that they have been like attached to for material reasons, or like more socially oriented reasons and stuff like that, in favor of things that just make them feel more whole, make them feel more purposeful, make them feel more fulfilled, more connected to a higher power, connected to the divine. Like the relationship to the divine, the relationship to the higher power is really like a fundamental driving force throughout the course really of this next year and a half itself, as we go through the North Node's entire transit of the sign of Pisces, which is just starting right now. That is always a process of spiritual growth. The flip side of that, with the South Node in the sign of Virgo, a lot of times we actually learn how to take better care of ourselves, and there can be some alterations to like habits, schedules, routines, our day-to-day lives and lifestyles generally. And there's also, I think, a greater tendency to kind of incorporate maybe a spiritual practice into the day-to-day lifestyle, and maybe make some type of new, and I've been saying this, like this is a very good time to incorporate some type of new spiritual practice or routine that expands your connection to spirit, or just, I don't know, does something that triggers or like initiates or perpetuates a process of spiritual growth as we move through this particular nodal transit with the North Node Pisces, South Node Virgo. And you know, with Venus there and everything that we had go on with that energy this past weekend, we had Venus, North Node, Neptune, and the moon all in the sign of Pisces right there. Like this is just indicating like being ready to let go of something perhaps that we have been attached to, surrender, forgiveness, letting it go. And then Venus goes right ahead and moves into the sign of Aries. Jupiter stations direct, like so we can move forward, so that we can grow, so that we can expand. Like there is some type of fated process of growth that is being, again, like inferred to us by the way that these planets are coming together, and we should be kind of feeling re-inspired to move forward with something, to try something new, again, to like take a risk. This is definitely more risk-taking energy with Venus in the sign of Aries. I do want to say though, especially in the energy of Monday, this is kind of a general theme as we move through the transit of the North Node in the sign of Pisces though, but especially on Monday, well, I'm not laughing because of what I'm about to say. I'm laughing because of what I'm going to say after I say what I'm about to say. But what I'm about to say is that this is definitely like, and I've been saying this my last couple videos, like a red flag suicide watch point in time. Again, like there is a desire to escape reality. It can be manifesting in a whole bunch of different ways. Monday, again, is a day where you might just like there's kind of like a red flag for this type of thing. Also, drugs and alcohol as a means of escaping reality, taken maybe a little bit too far. This can also be something that we see go on, especially when we've got, for one, the North Node transiting the sign of Pisces, but also with Neptune, who rules the sign of Pisces, and also Venus. Okay. And what I was just kind of like chuckling about a minute ago, another way that this energy could definitely manifest on Monday is like people just getting a bit lost in the sauce. Like people could be randomly more than normal, just like drunk in the energy of Monday. Venus at the very last degree of Pisces with the North Node and Neptune. I wouldn't take it to, you know, if you come across somebody who is just acting totally outlandish and, you know, just venting and saying all types of crazy stuff, honestly, like there's a good chance that they could just actually be drunk. Like this energy does indicate drinking or like being drunk, like the desire to evade reality through the intake of alcohol, like Pisces, Neptune, North Node, Venus, while we've got this painful setup going on with the black moon in Libra opposite the moon and Chiron and Aries squaring Mars in Cancer, which is also this like watery energy. I'm just saying, you guys, people could be not dealing with things by just spending some time with the bottle, and then a lot of not a lot, I mean, this is not going to be, you know, in every circumstance. However, I do think that this is how people are going to be dealing with this energy, more so than under other energetic situations. So again, like if you come across somebody who just seems to be really out of it and really crazy and is really angry, or you know, there's like literally just a good chance that they could be drunk. Okay. So, but people also having a big mouth, having a big head, feeling a bit full of themselves with the Mercury Jupiter trine going on. It is a good placement. But in the energy of Monday, before we get to that Jupiter station, like again, people could just be letting it all out. This is having absolutely no filter. Even if they're not drunk, they could definitely be acting like it. Okay, so in a nutshell, Monday feels sort of like an open firing range to get out some long repressed issues one way or another. The outcome is likely to be some type of comfort through detachment or the desire to release something, get out, escape, avoid, let go, move on. On Tuesday, very, very favorable day. By Tuesday, I don't think we're going to be as much focused or worried about whatever it was that was going on Monday. We probably got some good news, great ideas, positive interactions going on. The moon is also transiting Taurus by the time we get to Tuesday, which is another positive placement. The moon really likes to be in Taurus. Instead of feeling like maybe the internal sense of agitation, this gives more inner peace, comfort, security. So we're feeling a little bit more grounded, and I just think overall, Tuesday is really shifting things for us somehow, firing us up, reorienting us towards a desire for the future, desire for forward momentum, embracing the new. We want to move forward with this. Don't be surprised if people are being more assertive, are acting more motivated, are just kind of more overall feisty in the way that they are socializing or relating to others or expressing themselves. In the energy of Tuesday, again, with Jupiter and Mercury in a trine, this is a very, very verbal energy, very big energy. People are definitely going to probably have a lot to say, a lot to talk about, you know, really saying what's on their mind, taking risks though, and making moves to get ahead, to move things forward. Big news, big information, big ideas, big deals. Also, we can see some really big deals, really big opportunities going on. Great day to take action on something, initiate something, speak your mind about something. Probably gonna have a favorable outcome. Again, though, watch out for the details and the fine print and the intricacies and things. Like, make sure you're not just totally glossing over the little details about stuff. We do still have the exact Mars Chiron square on Tuesday, but I think with the Jupiter station, this is more about the remedy, the solution, healing, release, moving forward again, or just having some type of like opportunity or luck or like good idea, good advice or something that is finding us and making everything okay for some reason. The mood is probably going to be much better. Therefore, on Tuesday, we are definitely just more oriented towards what's coming next. And there could honestly also even be like a sense of excitement about it. This is a growth mindset and the desire to embrace opportunity and the path ahead. So by Wednesday, which is where we will pick up in our next video, you guys, you should be feeling freshly re-inspired to move forward with something. So very good time to start something new, initiate something, move something forward, level up or glow up in terms of your personal appearance too. With the North Node in the sign of Pisces, but the South Node in the sign of Virgo, and also now Venus in the sign of Aries, like this is a good time to sort of, you know, give yourself maybe like a lifestyle overhaul if you've been feeling like you need that type of thing. Personal appearance, personal image, aesthetic. This is also a greater desire to be active. So it would be therefore a good time with the South Node Virgo, Venus in the sign of Aries. We've just probably feel a greater desire, a stronger personal motivation to maybe start something physical, like a new workout routine, or just like commit to going for walks or like being more active somehow. Martial arts training is very, very good with Venus Aries energy. If you have Venus in Aries and you have been wondering if you should try martial arts, you should. I think that you will really, really like it. Anyways, answers, expansion, and progress are coming, you guys. It's a new world out there. We have Venus at 1 degree of Aries. That Sabian symbol is a woman rising from the sea. A seal is embracing her. It is, we are coming out of, I mean, it's a new cycle of Venus energy. This can bring in new relationships. It can bring in like new friendships, new connections. Again, with the Mercury-Jupiter trine, this could be new opportunities. It really just sort of is like an fired up breath of fresh air, and things are changing, and the way that we are interacting with our lives and our reality is changing as well. And we also have Jupiter stationing at 11 degrees of the sign of Gemini. That Sabian symbol is a slave girl, demands the rights of her mistress. Jupiter has been here for a long period of time now. That's indicating, well, I mean, it's saying everything it needs to. There's something about, we're talking about Jupiter in the sign of Gemini. This is freeing the mind. This is expanding our perception of things. This is broadening our understanding. This is bringing solutions. And it's like, the ways that we've been perhaps like held up or blocked in or unable to move forward or unable to like be successful somehow in the past as a result of any type of like restriction or constraint or just like lack of understanding, lack of like assistance, lack of guidance perhaps. I don't know. With Jupiter at this degree, it seems like we are getting what we need to free ourselves somehow to grow, expand, and move forward. Jupiter's about growth. Jupiter's about expansion. Jupiter's about wisdom. Jupiter's about truth. The truth will set you free here. A slave girl demands the rights of her mistress. We are finding out necessary information that is freeing us to move forward, to grow, expand somehow. So we'll see, you guys, how all of this goes. But I think that, I don't know, when we reconvene on Wednesday, there could have been some positive progress somehow. So that's what I have to say today, you guys, about the astrology. We got a tarot reading that we're going to get into as well. To me, this message is telling us to, for one, like, have hope. Things really, I feel like, are being worked out on a higher level right now. Look at these cards that we had coming out. On the back of the deck, we have the Nine of Cups, the Hierophant, and the Page of Pentacles. This, to me, is talking about, well, the Nine of Cups, this is classically known as, like, the wish card. It's about, you know, dreams coming true, like wish fulfillment. And then the Hierophant here is the symbolic representation of a higher power, our connection to the divine. And we have then the Page of Pentacles, which is about kind of like holding, you know, opportunity or potential in the palm of your hand, like this potential that could grow into and become anything. But with this particular setup that we've got going on here, like it's like pure creative potential when we're dealing with the Page of Pentacles. But with this particular setup here, it's like through God, anything is possible. Like nothing is impossible through our faith, and the faith that anything is possible, like motivating the image of that which we wish to grow and create and manifest. This particular configuration of 3 cards right here is indicating to me the limitless potential of the way that we can create right now, when we can kind of like get in alignment with that higher pursuit, with that divine image, with that divine vision. So that's what we had come out on the back of the deck. And then these are the 3 cards that came out in the shuffle. And when I put those back of the deck cards with these 3 cards, this is also telling me or making me feel like things are really kind of being rebalanced or worked out on a higher level right now. We've got the 3 of Pentacles, the 4 of Pentacles, and the Temperance card. So like there's a progression of energy here. And remember, the card that we had in the previous set of 3 cards were the 9 of Cups, the Hierophant, and the Page of Pentacles. So we've got this Page of Pentacles here, right, that is talking about like the endless potential of what could be if, you know, it kind of honestly like the opportunity for dreams or the higher vision or wish fulfillment to come true right now. And then we're talking about the progression from the 3 to the 4 of Pentacles with the Temperance energy right here. It's like, hold on to the vision, okay? Like hold on to the, keep working towards the goal. Collaborate with others. With the 4 of Pentacles here and the 3 of Pentacles, the 3 of Pentacles is like a collaborative effort. It's like following through or fleshing out a blueprint. It's like figuring out the template or the strategy in order to work to accomplish something, to build something, to get something done. And then with the 4 of Pentacles right here, in this particular context, I feel like it's talking about like not losing sight of what that could become, like holding on to that potential, holding on to that idea, holding on to that progress, like holding on to the momentum that perhaps we've already started to accumulate, even if we feel maybe like, especially in the energy of Monday, like nothing ever works out, or it's just not going in our favor, or it's not going to turn into anything, or we're like dealing with too much stuff, or like we're too weak or too messed up or whatever to make anything happen. With the Temperance card here, this does indicate healing. This does indicate like divine intervention. This does indicate things being worked out on that higher level. And this message has actually been coming through the past couple days. It seems like, I feel like it's saying, just don't lose sight of the goal, okay? Keep working, keep putting one foot in front of the other. You know, ask for help, ask for guidance, ask for assistance, work with other people, collaborate, and just like keep like hold on to the vision, right? We hold on to the goal. We had the 9 of Cups come out as kind of like the base energy for all of this. So we do have the potential to really, I think this is saying, like manifest dreams into reality. I've been talking about the potent nature of the manifestation energy that we are moving through right now. So keep focused on that, you guys. There is a spiritual with the Hierophant and Temperance as well. It's like spirit is on our side. There is spiritual assistance available for us in this process as well, but we need to do things in the right way, and we need to like just keep working towards it, not lose hope, and you know, maintain the focus on the goal and what it is that we are truly working towards, even if things get a little bit crazy on the outskirts. So that's what I feel like the tarot message is today in terms of my interpretation of those cards in the context of the astrology as well. We're gonna get a synchronicity card now, you guys. God, Spirit, Universe, what is one final piece of guidance or advice or information? What memo should we keep fresh in the front of our mind as we move through the energy this week? Forget the past, you guys. And Tuesday, it's really just like the name of the game. And that's what we're doing. So maybe on Monday, as we're moving through this energy, we just need to keep this in mind. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. You guys, Jupiter stationing, trine Mercury. What have I been saying? Okay, Romans 12:2. Give up your worldly beliefs and learn the truths of life. Feed your subconscious mind with life-giving patterns. Accept the positive aspects of God and let go of all the negativity. Forget the past. Get on with the future. Oh my God. In this way, your spirit will gradually grow and you will reach your goal. Mind blown, you guys. So I'm just going to leave it there. Forget the past. Final exclamation point on the end of the astrology and the tarot and the reading and the video. There it is, you guys. So I hope you liked it. I hope that you got something out of this, found it informative or entertaining or, I don't know, interesting or whatever. If you did like the video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, you guys, share it with your friends if you think that they would enjoy this type of astrology content as well. Leave me comments. I'm so grateful for your presence on my channel, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Also, I wanted to thank you guys so much for all of the birthday wishes. That sure was very nice of you guys. And I'm sorry that it's like been such a lag since that happened. My birthday was January 26th and I had a video come out that was like, I think it was the last weekend video. And because I record these videos so far in advance, like by the time that the video's coming out for you guys, I've already recorded like the next 2 or 3 videos. So when I sit down, so that's why I'm saying thank you the next time that I made a video that I could tell you guys thank you, and it happens to be this video. So that's the lag on the videos. But anyways, want to say thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you. You guys made my birthday wonderful and I love you all so much. And yes, come back with me for the next video, you guys. Like I said, we will reconvene on Wednesday, catch back up with all this, figure out what we got going on as we hit the midpoint of our week and what we have coming next. We are moving through a bit of calmer waters, so to say, as we move throughout the month of February. I feel like it's kind of a generalized like processing period. We don't have any big squares. We don't really have any big oppositions. Again, we kind of have the wind in our sails to some extent as we move through this Aquarius season. It is a time of heightened spiritual like connection and stuff going on like that, but we do still nonetheless have a lot going on, a lot to talk about. You should come back with me. I will be back to talk all about it. I will catch you guys on Wednesday, so see you then and have a beautiful introduction to your week. I wish all the best for you guys in this Jupiter station energy, and until next time, bye guys.